Next up, the series went on an American road trip starting in Pikes Peak. It's at altitude, so a lot of the European runners went in advance to acclimatize. It's also home of the Manitou Incline, a challenge of over 2,700 steps. The current record holder is Joseph Gray, and if I was him, I wouldn't be very pleased that the world's best trail runners have all come with enough time to potentially take down my record.
The incline is a really steep climb in Manitou Spring, and there is a lot of people doing it like all year long. And I never had the opportunity to do this climb, so this year I was a bit before the race, so I decided to attempt the incline record. Not too flat, but I like it. I think it's a good way to test the legs before Pikes Peak Ascent. Hey, my name is Remy Bonnet. I live in Switzerland and I am running for Salomon.
Yes, it's possible to beat this record if you get up and do it at 6 a.m. instead of 10 a.m. There is no way you can beat Joe Gray in 68-degree conditions.
Remy Bonnet is one of the best climbers in the world, but it's actually been some time since he's really been performing well, last winning a podium in 2018 at Zagama. Recently, however, he broke the vertical kilometer world record, the fastest time to run up 1,000 meters. So he comes here to Pikes Peak and the Manitou Incline as a favorite to do well.
Yes!
How much was that?
17:35.
Whoa!
I think my confidence after breaking the incline record was quite high, and I knew that all was going to push hard during Pikes Peak. And in my mind, I think I was already winning the race, like after the incline record.
Obviously, I underestimated Remy Bonnet. We don't get to see that every day. I can typically do the incline in 35 or 37 minutes, and I'm almost never passed by anybody. To see somebody doing it in 17:25 is quite amazing.
The two American races represent the last chance for athletes to score points that count towards the final. Someone like Remy, who's had a slow start, really needs to do well here to still be in the runnings for the overall title. And it's a similar story in the women. Ninka may have won Zagama, but that's the only race she's done so far this season, so she needs to do well in both of these races. Maud's returning, but also there's a new challenger on the scene. Sophia Lockley won Stranda, and she's yet to race either of them. So this is the first opportunity to have the three most exciting female runners all going head-to-head.
My name is Sophia Lockley. I'm 22 years old, and I live in Salt Lake City, Utah, and run for Salomon. I grew up skiing. I was probably like 2 the first time I was on skis, mainly because both my parents skied. My dad's from Norway, so they taught us, me and my siblings, very young. And so I've been skiing forever, and then I've always liked the running aspect of my training for skiing, but I'd never really thought about doing it competitively. And then there were a few trail races around where I was training, so I hopped in those and they went really well, and I decided to pursue it more. Yeah, that was like the scariest race for me that I've ever done. And yeah, I mean, it was really fun and a little bit scarring, but it was a cool race to finish for sure. And then winning was just like unreal.
Donc j'ai regardé un petit peu la course en Norvège. J'étais très contente de ne pas être allée parce que quand j'ai vu les conditions météo et la piste comme elle était, c'était vraiment pas une course pour moi. Et j'ai été impressionnée par la performance de Sofia.
Yeah, at this point I had a better idea of who was going to be there, and I was pretty excited because I was finally going to get to race Nienke and Maud. And I'd heard a lot about them, and so I was pretty excited to see how I'd match up against them.
Pour la course Pikes Peak, je pense que toutes les meilleures sont là. Et je me réjouis de voir Nienke, ce qu'elle peut faire, Sofia, Sarah aussi, même si c'est que de la montée. Il y a vraiment le niveau est monté cette année.
I came to United States 3 weeks before the race because I live in 100 meters above the sea. I don't have experience with altitude, so I try to train in that altitude and be ready for the race. Yeah, it's a big challenge for us today, so I'm a little bit nervous.
Bart did really well in Stranda, but it's his only race so far this season, so he needs to do well in the final too. And it seems a lot of athletes are in a similar position. They've been picking and choosing their races, but left it too late, so everyone's competing in both of the races.
When I planned the travel to USA, I knew that the race was for me. Like, it was only up, and I proved many times that I am one of the best climbers in the circuit. So I prepared well with the altitude at home, and in my mind, I was going for the win, not for the second place.
Were you checking on your watch if you were gonna do the record of the ascent or not?
Yeah, I look the watch like at bar camp. I see that I was in the record time, so I try to keep the pace, like the same pace, because I knew that if I do the same first and the same second part was good for the record. I think when you see the elevation, the distance, and the time, it's not tough, but the altitude make it really tough. If you look like the times, the first split in the middle, I was in the record time, but then from bar camp to the summit, he keep like pushing the same pace at the normal altitude, and if you are not used to the altitude, it's impossible, even if you are the best athlete in the world.
7 minutes behind. Your place? 12. You are 12 actually.
After the start line, I knew I have to keep the pace in the front of group because the entry to trail is very narrow, and I couldn't keep the group pace, and I was really frustrated about it. But right now I couldn't run. Maybe I can stop, but it is my second race, so I have to finish because I need points to be higher in general ranking, so I have to be in a finish line. I don't know, maybe I had a bad day, maybe I trained too hard in that altitude because I don't have too much experience, but I don't know. Maybe it's some different points influence that my performance in that day.
I typically think I really like racing at altitude, but that was just a whole nother level. Like, I live at altitude, and for ski racing, I enjoy altitude racing. But I didn't like change anything leading up to this, but this race was way higher than anything I had done. I was still in second, but Nienke had long gone. I couldn't see her anymore. And then, it wasn't too far into that section that I saw Maud a few switchbacks down, and she was really moving, and I was like, yeah, she's probably gonna come right by me, and she did.
Pikes Peak Ascent is the first race that I win during this season, so it was quite good for me because the last one I win was 4 years ago, so it was quite a long time without big wins. So for the confidence, is really good to have this one.
After 5 races of intensity, finally a bit of time off with a road trip. And what do trail runners want? more trail running, and some national parks.
Is this the poster for next year, guys?
I'm really happy to be here because it's my first time here. Also, my fiance Patricia, she's first time in America. We spent a lot of time with other athletes from different brands, but we are like big family. We cook every day together, we run every day, we explore new places.
Cuando empecé a correr en trail running, mi único objetivo era viajar y estar aquí con otros atletas súper buenos. Me siento como demasiado privilegiada, en plan que no me lo merezco. En plan, joder, tienes estas oportunidades en tu vida 2 veces contadas y pues no sé, me encanta poder estar aquí, es un sueño.
Hola, buenas.
Honestly, the places we got to see in Moab, it has been a dream because it's stuff that you sit there and especially when we're sitting there at sunrise at Delicate Arch and you're just like, shit, this is the world we live in and this is incredible. But it's not just that I'm used to traveling by myself and I'm used to being in those places, loving my own company, but also wishing I had someone to share it with. And when you've got 40 people that you really appreciate having around you and are really cool people to share such special experiences with, and yeah, it's been absolutely a dream.
Hey! It's a picture perfect kind of world with you. It's a picture perfect kind of world with you. It's a picture perfect kind of world with you. It's a picture perfect kind of world with you.
And so we plan to do a road trip between the 2 races. I really enjoy it and now it's time to focus again for the second race. I think for Flagstaff, Bart will be hungry because he did not expect to do like a race like in Pikes Peak, so he will be motivated to show that he's here. And there will be also like Danny will be strong, Manu will be strong, maybe Francesco also. You never know with Francesco, but I think he will be also strong for the race. So that will be a good battle with all the athletes.
En cuanto a posiciones, está yendo muy bien porque Cegama fue una Cegama sin seco, con un nivel de la leche, un tercer puesto con un tiempazo. Después en Noruega fue un segundo puesto. Y después en Sierra Recinal fue una locura de carrera. Me metí en la boca del lobo y me masticó, pero bien. Y nada, ahí conseguí creo que un 20 o un 21, pero lo sufrí muchísimo más que las anteriores. Flagstaff. Flagstaff no sé cómo ni resumirlo, porque va a ser subir por un lado de la estación y bajar por el otro. Va a ser subir a Piñón y bajar a... no me lo quiero ni imaginar, pero igual a 3:30 los últimos 15. El problema para mí en esta carrera, que voy a tener que salir a muerte y llegar a muerte. Aquí no va a haber estrategia, para mí no.
Yes, I feel confident, I feel I recover, but also I'm a little bit afraid because last week I had bad race and we will see tomorrow.
Flagstaff was the last chance for athletes to score points, so everyone was competing, but none more so than Ali McLaughlin. She raced Pikes Peak as her first race in the series, coming 4th, and she'd need to get enough points to qualify with only 2 races counting. So Flagstaff was do or die.
Good job, Ali.
I'm Ali McLaughlin, and I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I run for On Running. I was injured during track a lot, and just injured in college a lot, in general, in cross country too. So after I got out, I took a season off, and I always wanted to do trails. To me, running is running, like whether it's on trails, road, track, or anything. I like it all. But there was this one race, the Pikes Peak Ascent, that is from the town I'm from, and I always wanted to do it, but I always was like, I'll do it when I graduate. And so it was like, I took a kind of a break from running and got healthy, and then the very next year I raced it and I won it. And so ever since then, I realized there's this whole trail community. But yeah, I still would like to do maybe a road marathon or get back to the track, but trail will always be home. So cool.
I went into flag more like I went into Norway, where the profile to me was like, oh, that's probably not going to suit me super well. I knew there was going to be climbing, but I heard a lot that there was a lot of downhill and really fast. And so that to me was not my strength. And so I wasn't really expecting to run with Yankee that race, and I was more unsure of how the result would end up.
Survive the climb, and then absolutely bang the downhill.
Full gas.
Full gas!
I've got nothing to lose by having a massive crack, because with the points I'm currently on, I do have a shot. Obviously, that would be the bare minimum I would need, and that would be very lucky if that got me in. So I kind of need 12th or better if I want to qualify within the top 30. So for me, it's a case of have a crack, like do or die in a way. Like at the end of the day, a 16th position to me is gonna mean the same thing as a 40th position.
Kilometer into the race, and Remy Bonnet already has a gap from the rest of the group. How is this possible after racing Pikes Peak last week?
Coming to the final race, Ninka's running for a third win, and all of them over Maud. Sophia Lockley is looking to see whether she can jump into the podium positions, and Ali's looking to see if she's got enough points to make it on the plane to the finals. Sarah Alonso is sat pretty, and it wouldn't surprise me if she just relaxes all the way to the finish line. Remy's looking to get his second and move up to first overall in the rankings. Bart needs to do well to get himself into the top 10 and also make sure he has enough points to go to the finals, whereas Manu needs to do well to return himself into the podium positions.
Yeah, the climb was really steep, so I didn't run a lot. And at the last part of the climb, Sophia overtook me. She was really going fast.
As soon as we got to the steep, like going up the steep climbs, I noticed that I was gaining on her, and so I was a little bit nervous. I was like, I don't think I should be passing her. I was kind of assuming that she would come back.
I was in 4th behind Maud, Sophia, and Ninke. And like, even though it was tough, it felt good at the same time. So I kind of was like, all right, just follow them.
Fuck altitude.
Never again?
Never again.
Bueno, el día de hoy ha sido complicado. Los ritmos eran para mí fuera de mi estatus, de lo que yo puedo hacer. Vamos a decir que los primeros 6 se hicieron a menos de 4:15 o así, 4:30, aunque fueran en ascenso.
Yeah, true. The pace was really crazy because Remy Bonnet, he pushed very hard at the beginning. I tried to be behind him, but
Yeah, I really tried to say the message to the other that I was not tired from Pikes Peak and that I was here also to win that one.
En la bajada sé que como mucho puedo remontar hasta una 5ª posición y no me estoy jugando nada porque la temporada la tengo hecha. Entonces en toda la parte técnica voy con cuidado después de haberme caído mucho durante toda la temporada Y empieza la pista y digo, vale, ahora sí. Ya adelanto a Tabor, ya veo cerca a Dani. Y en un lugar súper tonto, que es donde más me molesta a mí, me resbalo. Y me hago daño.
You okay, Sarah? What happened? Your ankle? Here is the ice station if you need something. Oh, Sarah, you are all together. Here, here. Do you need something? I can tell them. If you are hurting Sarah, you should stop.
Me levanto y sigo corriendo. Y me duele mucho, mucho. Miro, o sea, pienso en mi mente, no sé, ¿por qué me duele tanto? No me he torcido nada, no me he golpeado la rodilla. Y sigo intentándolo casi medio kilómetro más, porque nunca antes me he retirado por la organización, por respeto, por mí, por cabezona. Pero realmente me tengo que parar.
No. Hey! Hey! Come here! Hey! They will come here, Sarah. Oh, fuck. Come! They will come.
I was feeling well now.
Yeah.
Pues ahí cuando estaba ensangrentada a tope, solo podía pensar de que qué mierda, porque estaba haciéndolo bien ahora. Pero realmente digo, ¡buah! Estoy cojeando, no puedo ni apoyar la pierna, me duele a muerte y queda un mes para la final. Voy al hospital y por favor que me digan que no es nada o que al menos pueda correr antes de la final porque quiero entrenar un poco. Y es que solo era asfalto y alguna piedrita. Mala suerte. Había que justo la piedra ha ido ahí. Y he seguido corriendo y he dicho, pues no. Y Ana, ¿por qué te quejas tanto? Y pues no sé. Y de repente me he parado y he dicho, wow, agujeraco.
Venga, ven, corre.
Sí, hombre.
Yeah, fuck, be careful. Need your part.
The steep downhill, it's crazy. And this was my problem last year as well, and I still notice there's a lot of work needs to be done in the downhill.
Yeah, so it was a lot of back and forth, which makes a race, I think. You know, there's some races everyone kind of just holds their position the whole time, but it was so cool. I went back and forth with Maud a little bit, and I ended up catching Nenke and passing her on a really technical part, which kind of scared me in a way because I was like, oh dang, I don't know if I should be this far up. Like, I didn't want to blow up. Yeah, so then I caught Sophia for a little while on the downhill, and we went through some aid stations, and people were so excited because it was like 1-2 female like together.
Maybe 5K left to go, which I didn't know there was 5K left. I thought it was really close. Nyanke did pass me, and then like immediately after that, I just went face planted down. I was pretty tired at this point, and so I was just trying to stay on my feet, which was a challenge at this point.
La parte final de la carrera, si os dijera lo que pienso de la parte final de la carrera, igual habría que hacer un corte, porque me cagué en todo lo que podía ver por el dolor del flato y por el tipo de terreno que es, sin más.
I think after Flagstaff, I am first now in the ranking and with a lot of points in it and in advance to the second. So that's cool for the final, and I think I will be more than motivated to keep the lead until the end.
Let me off the hook. I wanna get tangled in the sheets.
freaking did
Sorry,
it.
I cry because of happiness.
Today the race was really special for me because it was a race where it was like really a battle, and in the end then I won. So it was really it made me a bit emotional also because I won the 3 races, and I was third at some point, and I made it again to become first. So it was special.
Most of the athletes today were battling for their place on the podium or their overall positions in the finals, whereas one athlete was battling to be top 30 just for the possibility to actually be there.
As it currently stands, 31, which is the worst spot. Shit.
You came out today, and for how many seconds did you make it?
90 seconds in the end. Yeah, I was catching her. I was quite a bit faster on the downhill, I think, because she was further ahead on the uphill. She was ahead of Iris, so I was catching, but not fast enough in the end. So it is what it is. I know I'm one of so few in the world that get opportunities like this. I suppose for me, running is very emotional, and it becomes super emotional at times because I have so many moments of going, shit, I was there. I never want to forget that I was there and that there are people still there. But now I'm here and I want to feel that for all it's worth, because it's worth a damn lot to be here among so many amazing people. And the privilege of being here cannot be put into words, especially for someone like me that's been at the absolute opposite end of the spectrum, for sure, in life. Like, whew, I'm climbing mountains. Like, fuck, man. I never would have believed myself to be doing that.
For the final, we went to Madeira, which is an island in the Atlantic, southwest of Portugal.
Yeah, it's looking like rain every single day, and it's not like I won't race because of that, but I really like sunny, dry conditions.
Ali surprised everyone and just flew out of the start line, way ahead of Ninka.
I had a good month of training, and I kind of wanted to just come in with a bang.
We came back to the hotel after stage 1 and suddenly found out that Manu had been disqualified.
Un tecnicismo me quitó todos los puntos. Es tan técnico, y si fuera al extremo del reglamento, podría hasta hacer una reclamación porque yo no dejé ningún bastón abandonado y mis bastones no son bastones, son palos. Pero no sé qué hacer.